Liberty. This is topic number 7. And tonight's topic is liberty can be frightening. Probably asking, what do you mean? Liberty's frightening? No, it's not. I don't know. Let's see. Liberty can be terrifying when you realize that is really what you have. One of the ways is that people start to realize that if I have true liberty, everything that I screw up is really my fault. Right? So liberty can be kind of scary. Anybody here ever been 18 or 19 and had to move away from mommy and daddy's house? I know I did. And, well, I went straight to Great Lakes Naval Training Center. That was definitely scary, but, you know, in some ways I think it was a little less scary than a kid that just kind of hops off all on their own. Because I had good structure and, well, I really didn't have any liberty after I got on that bus. So, anyway, I think it's sad that people would live in captivity just because they want someone to blame. There's lots of people that are doing just that. There are people who are addicted to their problems. There are people who are addicted to self-imposed mental disorder. They are addicted to having a debt to complain about. They actually would not know what to do without it. If you went in and they had a huge house payment, a huge car payment, huge credit card loans, anybody think some of the folks you might know, maybe yourself, and I've been here, a bunch of stupid payments that I signed up for bondage willingly with the handcuffs. Well, yeah. I mean, it's a quick way to go broke. And so I've made some of these silly mistakes myself. If someone came in, walked in, and wrote the slate to 0, what would happen to almost all those folks? That's right, they go right back and do it again. So I'm glad it's taken a few years for me to fix my stupidity, because it's helped me to actually learn something so that my kids can know something and that my family doesn't have to go through debt stupidity again. So, I mean, we're just close. So anyway, I know that sounds completely insane, and I know a lot of you who are listening are going to go, well, it's not me. It may not be you now, but it may have been you at some time. Liberty can be frightening because it comes with all the responsibilities that go along with it. It comes with something called choice, real choice. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about choice that I think probably a lot of folks in the cities are trying to think about right now. They're going, I'm scared. I want to move out of the city and buy me some land and grow a garden or what have you. And so this guy, he's probably, say, 50, so he has the resources to do this. Him and his wife have worked their whole lives. He's going, all right, going through his set of criteria, you know, water and tillable land and all those little funny things that you might want to do if you want to grow a garden. But then he's going, if I move and I mess up, I'm going to lose everything that my wife and I have worked for our entire life. That's an example of liberty. So, liberty can be a scary thing, even when you're trying to make a decision in your own life, just trying to decide where to live, or where to move, or where to work. Liberty is a frightening thing, and that's why an animal that has lived in a cage its entire life, when you go to open the door, what do? Yeah, they sit there. They're like, I don't want to go out there. I don't know what our rabbits are. They're just right now, we still got to keep an eye on them. They're pretty young. But if it's a bird, it might fly out of a cage and fly right back where it has its safety. So I guess what I'm trying to get at here is sometimes, even though we have liberty, isn't it true that we sometimes choose a cage? And I'm wondering if that isn't what we as Americans have done all together with some of our extra constitutional programs, especially at the federal level. We've got all these things, no matter what happens to me, somebody's going to be there to take care of me. Really? Are you a middle-class person? Are you a family of 2 or 3 making $50,000 or $60,000 a year? Is there really a safety net for you? No, there isn't. There's only a safety net for you after you've lost everything. So I think sometimes we as Americans have fallen into the trap for voting for things that seem like a good idea to protect us, our own little self-imposed cages, when we gave up our liberty to do that. And what I mean by giving up my liberty is because the person that isn't getting the handout is losing their life in the form of taxes, aren't they? So I did the math on Social Security. It's something like the first 2 months of every year, just shy of that, you're just working to pay your Social Security bill at all levels. With all the various taxes we pay, we've given up a lot of liberty for a precious small illusion of security. Alrighty. It's hard to believe that people would give up liberty for that, but the more subtle and more seductive version of this is a new car, the fancy house and a credit card and all the other trappings that go along with it. We get seduced by this. You'll have people say, I just can't afford it without credit. No, you can't afford it at all. I always look back 10 years ago when I thought that, well, I need this. But, I don't quite have enough money to buy it. Honey, I think we'll just go get the credit card and we'll cover that extra $100. Okay, I couldn't afford it today. What makes me think in my delusional state that I could afford the stuff that is essential tomorrow plus the payment on the stuff I couldn't afford today? That's what credit is, folks. Credit is a snare. All right. You can't afford it all. This means you have to sacrifice. Liberty is not devoid of sacrifice. Liberty requires sacrifice. Liberty is sacrifice. But the rewards are amazing in your life and the lives around us. Now, the video we're going to watch next was from 2009, and it's a visualization on the $100 million cuts that President Obama said that his cabinets had to go out and make. Now, $100 million sounds like a big deal to me. That seems like an awful lot of money. But we're going to see in a visualization the problem that we people all share with big, big numbers. Remember, a trillion is 1 times 10 to the 12th. And 100 million is only 100 times 10 to the 3rd. So you're going to see what those massive numbers can do to us right now.
President Obama made news by announcing that his team would find $100 million worth of federal spending that they can cut from the budget. Some people are saying that the president is just taking a number that sounds big so that it'll look like he's doing something about federal spending. We humans have a problem with big numbers. We hear that the president is taking $100 million out of a $3.5 trillion budget, but what we understand is the president is taking a big pile of money out of a bigger pile of money. We don't get the concept of scale very well when we're dealing with that kind of money. And I think we can understand it better. Let's stack 5 pennies together and say that this represents $2 billion. This is the federal budget, about $100 in pennies. Well, just a little under 90 after I take out the leafy pennies and the ones from my birth year and the pennies with the Queen of England on them. I think it's a Canadian conspiracy to ruin our monetary system. To the left of the white line is mandatory spending. Before we can fix a single road or build a bridge or pay a soldier, we have to spend this money. It's mainly Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. President Obama couldn't cut spending from there even if he wanted to. To the right of the white line is the only part of the budget he can reduce. To the left of the blue line is money we have. To the right of the blue line is money we don't have, so we have to borrow it. We'd obviously like to reduce the number of pennies on the right side of the blue line if we can. Here's what President Obama says he's going to do. We'll just grab that penny there. Then we take 3/4 of our penny, and we put it back on the budget. And the president's team is going to take 90 days to find some way to take this out of that. And suddenly, $100 million doesn't seem as big to me as when he said it in the press conference.
Okay, thank you, Joe. We appreciate that. Guess whose turn it is this time?